Welcome to Rowville, a suburb located in the southeast of Melbourne and located 27 kilometres from the CBD. Rowville faced rapid developments in the 1980s and 90s, and now, according to the 2016 census, it holds a population of over 33,000 people. But Rowville is still growing, and while more developments are underway and an increasing number of people are moving into the suburb, transportation is becoming a much bigger issue, considering the only main forms of transport are cars and buses.
To be honest, it's absolutely horrendous. I would recommend people to move away from Rowville because of the traffic. To be serious though, like Stud Road is just terrible everywhere. It just happens that it has to start basically in Rowville, and that's the most frustrating part.
Jackson Green is a resident of neighbouring suburb Ferntree Gully, but often drives through Rowville to get to Monash University in Clayton.
So on my way home from uni, again, Stud Road is just an unnecessary hassle that I really wish I didn't have to put up with, because driving in peak hour, it just drives me insane, and it's just a really annoying nuisance basically.
But what is the solution to the traffic congestion in peak hour? Well, some may say a train or tram line. In fact, the state government committed in its 2018-19 budget $3 million to design and plan a light rail, while the federal budget committed $475 million towards funding for a transport project in Rowville.
It's planned for the Rowville train line to split from the Pakenham-Cranbourne line at Huntingdale Station. Then from there it will go to Monash University's Clayton campus, then stop at Mulgrave Waverley Park, and then Stud Park in Rowville. The tram line, however, will begin at the Caulfield Station precinct, go via Chadstone Shopping Centre to Monash Clayton's campus, and then add 20 minutes and you'll be in Rowville.
But will this help the traffic in Rowville? According to a feasibility study completed in March 2012, it won't.
Well, it's not to say the traffic around here actually comes from here. A lot of it's pass-through traffic, and the feasibility study actually said that traffic would not lessen on Wellington Road. And part of the objective of the train campaign was to reduce the traffic on Wellington Road, free up road space. However, the study said that that wouldn't actually happen.
Councillor Peter Lockwood, who is also a member of the Eastern Transport Coalition, said Rowville doesn't have enough of a population to attract heavy rail, with projections indicating it will take 9 years for Rowville to hold a population worthy of seeing a train station get built.
Part of the problem with Rowville is the population isn't dense enough for heavy rail public transport, which is one of the reasons it's not feasible just yet.
Like Councillor Lockwood, the Managing Director of Clement Stone Town Planners, Bill Kuznachuk, also believes that Rowville is growing in population and is needing some form of transportation upgrade.
It'll continue to grow because you've got those corridors of growth that are going to continue to contribute towards Melbourne's housing and therefore population increase. So there's no doubt that corridor is experiencing a number of pressures, and one of those pressures is the accessibility to mass levels of public transport.
But Mr. Kuznachuk doesn't believe the solution is in a train line.
My personal view is that unless there's a driver for heavy rail to be provided to support the corridor beyond these employment centres, so further east, if I could put it that way, into Gippsland, I would see no distinct advantage for there to be a heavy rail, but certainly I would endorse a rapid transit light rail system.
While upgrading the transport in Rowville is necessary for southeastern suburb residents, it will also help cater for those who live in the northwest of Melbourne, especially for those travelling to Monash University.
So I'll always raise the issue about distance, because there's no point looking at an institution if it's not going to be viable for them to actually get there. And often students will go, oh yeah, I hadn't really thought about that.
Andrea Medic is the careers advisor at Buckley Park College in Essendon. She believes that upgrading the transport to Monash University will make the uni much more appealing to students on the opposite side of town.
I think it would make it more attractive. It would be better if it was direct, say from the city, so the fact they've got to kind of go to a stop and then go on again. But I think making it as accessible, even if that has its limitations, will definitely be a positive. Train line, definitely.
Buckley Park College graduate and current Monash University student Catherine Lee currently takes 2 buses and 2 trains from East Keilor to get to uni. While she did rethink her university preferences after researching the travelling time, she decided Monash offered the best course for what she needed. She believes that a new train line will reduce her travels by around 20 minutes and will make Monash more appealing to students in the northwest.
Yeah, I really do think that it would be really appealing for them to build that train line directly to Monash. Yeah, just because it's a more direct travel option for students travelling on public transport.
One place that will benefit from a new train or tram line is the campus here at Monash University Clayton. So I hit the grounds to see what uni staff and students think of the new transport options.
I think it would certainly reduce traffic. I think there'd be a lot of incentive for people to use public transport if they have their Myki cards. It'd be easier, more convenient, not have to worry about parking.
If it stops at Clayton, then yeah, definitely. I used to catch public transport and it would be even worse than driving because like you have to go in and back out again. So if there was something that stopped at Clayton, then sure.
Yeah, that will be faster. Like a railway, I think it's faster firstly, and then I think it will be more convenient than a bus.
But while we can ask ourselves whether light or heavy rail will help the traffic congestion issues in Rowville, one thing we know for sure is something needs to happen, because Rowville and the surrounding suburbs are growing fast.